So, you are in the market for a new lifestyle bakkie, and you're torn. Because what if you don't want a Toyota Hilux or a Ford Ranger? Well then, you might be interested in the new Nissan Navara or the new but not so new facelifted Volkswagen Amarok. We've come to Bass Lake 4x4 facility to get these shiny new bakkies nice and dirty. To help us, we've enlisted 4x4 expert Alan Pepper, who was very patient with me. The new Navara features a 2.3-litre twin-turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel, creating 140 kilowatts and 450 newton-meters. It can tow 3.5 tons and has a 229mm ground clearance. Unlike most bakkies, it doesn't use leaf suspension, but uses a coil system for a more comfortable ride. Like most bakkies, it has a high and low range, making it suited for tricky conditions. The Amarok, on the other hand, has a 2-litre bi-turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel, which makes 132 kilowatts and 400 newton-meters. It can only tow 3 tons, but has 237mm of ground clearance. Unlike the Navara, it does not have a low range, but it is geared to handle some challenging terrain. Alan, in your experience, what were your first impressions of both these cars?
The Amarok is a very refined vehicle.
Yeah.
It's very car-like, very nice vehicle to drive.
Yeah.
The Navara is far more rugged.
Okay.
It's designed as a more rugged vehicle.
Sure.
And I think the best way to compare them is to take them out on the trail and let's see what they do.
Sure, let's go for it. We sent each car up over exactly the same challenging obstacles to better judge their 4x4 ability. Things got very steep very quickly.
We're facing a steep climb. What I'm going to do for the first one is I'm going to be putting the diff lock on. What it'll do is it'll lock the two back wheels that they turn at the same speed.
Okay.
Okay, it's now locked in.
Okay.
Now I can go through and I'm going to have wheels coming off the ground.
Okay.
Okay. So there.
It does that.
Now, the diff lock isn't always the answer.
Okay.
So the diff lock works well if it is worked in conjunction with a decent line.
Okay.
And now we're taking a decent line and we turn it through and the vehicle will go through without a problem. So here we are in the Amarok.
Automatically, you can feel it's just so much more car-like.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. First one we're going up and I'm going to get her there. Remember, at this point the Navara got stuck as well.
Oh yes.
And now we're battling. Oh, yeah. And we're going to get over. Capabilities on both of them are almost identical.
Would you say that the lack of low range makes less of a difference?
To take my family into Botswana or into Namibia in the soft sand, this vehicle will handle it without a problem.
Okay.
You know, so that is the thing. But for the really rugged work, the lack of a low range gearbox makes a big difference.
We spent the next few hours jumping between cars, and I certainly learned a lot about off-roading. Alan was very impressed by both vehicles. He found the Navara's new suspension worked well, and the crawler gear in the Amarok helped it over tougher obstacles. But overall, he thought the Navara was more rugged and had the edge over the really rough stuff. So the specific model that I'm sitting in is the higher spec LE, which means that I've got some nice creature comforts in the car. I've got touchscreen radio, I've got cruise control, I've got optional leather seats that also have an electrical adjustment on the driver's side. But overall, I must say that I'm a little bit underwhelmed. If you look at how long we waited for this car, Navara owners waited for nearly 9 years for this new Navara, and you'd expect them to come out with a bang. But I'm a little bit disappointed because if you look at other cars in this segment, there are nicer cabins. Not to say that this is a bad cabin, but I just expected a little bit more from it. Sitting inside the facelifted Amarok, you do notice that things are slightly different. You'd swear that I'm in maybe a Golf or a Polo. This car almost pioneered the luxury bakkie segment since 2010. And again, like the Navara, I've got a touchscreen radio, I've got cruise control, I've got heated seats, and I've got optional leather. But what's crazy is that I've even got Apple CarPlay. Now, if our great-grandfathers saw these things compared to the bakkies that they drove, they would just roll over in their graves.
After a great day out at Bass Lake, it was time to head home. But first, let's see if we can pick a favorite.
What would you say, which car works for who best?
We start off with the Amarok. The Amarok is a very refined vehicle. It handles the off-road very well.
Yeah.
Although it is running a crawler gear, or it does not have a full low range, it is set up. The design is really good. It handled everything we threw at it today without any problems. It did just as well as the Navara through the big obstacles. We had no problems with it. The ground clearance is a little bit lower than some of the vehicles out there, but we proved by choosing the right lines and understanding the vehicle, we can take it through anything. When it comes to hardcore 4x4ing, I would take the Navara over the Amarok because of the fact that it has a proper low range. It is a more robust vehicle. If I have to tow the big trailers and do the hardcore stuff, I would definitely go for the Navara. It's a case of personal preference, but it's very difficult to put one above the other.
That's very true. I think on my side, as a city dweller, I would probably go home with the Amarok. But obviously for somebody who is a bit more hardcore, they want to do a bit more off-roading, that's going to work very well. But if I had to choose one key, it would be the silver car.
Let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love for you to join our community by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.